Hi everyone, Engineer Elisha Nicodemus. I still work with these architectural drawings or house design, and today I'm hereby to present the process or steps of achieving a good architectural design or house design. So ask yourself a question: how can you start? What's the good process of achieving a good house design? There's a lot of question mark there. I can start with my laptop, I can just get there and start designing any design. There's a lot of process, but this is the main process I'm going to give you from the start until you reach to the ground. So first process, when a client asks you to come up with an architectural design for her, thing should have to do, you should ask her for his own idea. Anataka nyumba yake ikue aje, ama anataka that commercial building ikue aje. You should have first listen to client's idea, and later after his or her idea, you can advise him this is better, or this you said this but is not that better in that position. So you should advise him also. For her to know the way forward. So after you have collaborate with your client, second step, you should have to visit to the ground. That's the second step. Visit to the ground where the house is going to be made. It's going to be constructed, not made. It's going to be constructed, and you should check. We always pre-visit to check the size of the ground, and secondly, take the measurement of the ground, to check the type of soil, to check for the topography of the ground, and to check the nearby features on that area and what you're going to construct. For example, I have a sample of an architectural drawing I'm going to show you in software and in manual architectural drawing. But before we reach there, let me give you some tips on this architectural drawing. After you are done with measurement taking on the ground and checking the topography, the type of soil, if it's loamy, swampy or rocky. After you've done that, now visit your office. And by the time the client was talking to you, you should have a sample paper or a full scope of sketching, writing some ideas, sketching. For example, this is a paper just for sketching. So you should have a pen or a pencil for sketching some details of from the client's idea. You should not have to, you should offer kumsikiza to client with your own. You can't uwezi beba hizo nini zote anakuambia. So you should have a sample of paper for short notes. I have a lot of paper here, as you can see. Like here I was just coming up with some sketch of basement. It was just a sketch and small detail. It was a basement, and I was just sketching from one of my clients. And after that, you have come up with your sketch. Visit your office or your room. Mostly you can, if you have a laptop, it's portable. If you have a desktop, it's permanent in a position. So you can visit your office or your room, and you can start up by designing the project. So first thing, you should have to do before getting into your computer. There's this process most people always ignore. Most designer always ignore. They just rush to the laptop and they forget this process. Yes, it's manual and multitasking. I don't know why they always fear it. It's multitasking. Mostly some designer always say, I don't have the tips, that cycle of drawing a manual paper. But this is a good achievement. Some company needs people with good ability of sketching, not using software, because they'll send it to the ground and come up with a sketch. So, for example, I came up with a sketch after I've listened to my client. I came up with a sample of a sketch before visiting my software on my laptop and my desktop. So this is an architectural drawing. It's an architectural drawing. I made it manually with only a pen. Those are the instruments I used. I used first my calculator. I used my A square, and these are the A squares. I used, this is a T square. You see it has an angle of 90. It is mostly an acute, and you can see this one has a protractor in between for achieving some angles. So these are the instruments I used, and pencil, erasers I used to achieve this drawing. So as you can see here, this is manually. It's a manual drawing. I made it. The manual drawing I made it. I think you can see it. It's a manual drawing. I hope they are going to see it. This is a manual drawing. As you can see, I drew it in a manual paper. This is my section, my septic tank. This is the floor plan of the house. As you can see, it's a good structural design. I used my hands, and these are the measurement section. As you can see here, this is the bedroom. This is the master bedroom. This is the master bedroom issues. This is the toilet and bathroom, sitting room, kitchen and dining. This is the entry porch. When you check here, there's that veranda at the back where people always rest. So I used a scale of 1:50. The same scale I used it in my software. And after that, you can see this is my framing, measurement or little. These dotted lines is it stands for roofing plan. This is a hip. You can see here there is a valley. So I know most people, they can't understand. Most clients, they will not understand this. But when they visit your 3D, they will be okay with it. And here is the section of septic. This is a top view, and this here is the section of septic, and this is the section of the total building. But here I used a scale of 100. 1:100, but here I used 1:50 because of this type of size of manila paper. So these are the drawings that I made it before visiting my software. Even the section of if. This is the section of if, or my roof plan. This is the section that I drew it at a scale of 1:20 if details, and these are the measurements. So this is the plan I made it for a client before I visit my software. So you should ask yourself a question. What you usually do before visiting your software. So this is the process, and after this, after I'm through with this, now I can visit my software easily because I have all the measurement here easily. I'll be nitakuwa nafanya kama ku copy paste. Sasa nitakuwa na copy paste to my laptop. Here I'm using laptop. I don't have a desktop, but I'll have it soon. So I'll transfer this document to laptop. By this time I had already transferred it, and it's like copying. I copied it. You can bring the camera near, and this is the drawing. The same drawing that is here is the same drawing that is here, as you can see. At this plan, we saw this area, we saw this bedroom 1, we saw master bedroom 2, and we saw wardrobes. At this manual paper, we saw this all here, and we saw this all. When we visit this area, we saw the lounge with ceramic tiles. This seats here. This is the kitchen, the dining area, and so all. And here you can see this is the entrance. It's the same thing as it is here in this paper. It is like I'm copy pasting from this paper, and let me use the Kenyan English, and putting in my laptop. So it's like transferring it to the laptop. So after that, I came up with this design. My design was of 17600 millimeter by 11,000 millimeter. So you should know how to interpret these plans in the site. No, not just drawing. You should know how to interpret this plan. After achieving this, I came up with the section in which I have not completed it. After that, these are the elevation. I came with the elevation. Here you can elevation this area, but at this area, using this software is easy and is fast to come up with the elevation. It takes time because it's a heavy software. This is the elevation of the house. This is the roofing area, and this is the walling area. You can see the elevation. There's this elevation 1. Let me open it. Okay, just give it a second because it loads. Because it's a heavy software. So this is the process of achieving. So our plan contains this all details. So this is my first elevation, front elevation. My front elevation, as you can see, this is the roof plan. So there's those all elevation. There's front elevation, back elevation, how you can say east, north, west elevation. These are elevation of the house. And finally, I came up with the 3D of the house. This is the 3D of the house. The 3D of the house is this one here. So the area of the land was here. This perimeter, what you see here, was the area, and I took the measurement of the house and I made it, and I allow spacing for my landscape, my car parking. As you can see, this is the gate. It is not still completed. This is the gate. You can see here. So I'm in the process of preparing this 3D. So this 3D client can easily understand than this my manual structure. You can easily understand it. So after you have achieved your 3D, you always say you're almost done. So this is the 3D. You can see this is the valley. ridge, gable, hip. Those all you find it in the plan. So this is my plan. Oh, I'm sorry, my battery is running low. Okay, so after that all you have done to the client. Oh, I want to show you something before my laptop went off. I want to show something. This is the blueprint. No, this is the detail that contain in a plan. My roofing detail, my floor plan. These are the 3D of the house, and some elevation. There's that delay because the software is heavy. The software is heavy, but it just hit the energy update. So this is the item is going to be printed. Yeah, my computer has gone off, but don't worry, I'll just continue giving the tips. So this is those all are the details needed. So after you have achieved your section part, your 3D part of the house, your structure, your plan part, your roofing part, you came up and you print it, like you print it to blueprint, but wasaiba watakusaidia in that part, utawapelekea na wataprintia and you'll achieve. This is a blueprint. I want to show you a sample of blueprint. Tumetoka kwa manual tukaiweka kwa my comp, na after hapo tukapeleka cyber, and this is a blueprint. As you can see here, this is a blueprint inakaga hivi. This is a blueprint here. It contains a lot of details. This is a blueprint part for different plan. It contains a 3D section, a 3D area. It contains north elevations. It contains elevation. It contains details. It contains architectural notes. It contains the floor plan, the roof plan, the section. So this is the blueprint. So hii ndio itatumika kwa site mostly. Siwezi peleka hii sababu iko moja na inaweza kuwa damage, na kidai kwa damage haita saidia. So tunatoka copy kama 5. One for itapelekwa kwa quantity survey, alafu the second one client atabaki nayo, site engineer atabaki nayo, atakuwa na the same blueprint. Structural engineer the same, atakuwa na the same blueprint. So that they can revisit the plan. If there's any correction, they can redo it. So firstly, when you visit to QS, when you give the QS this plan, he will take off, and the QS will come with the total cost of the house. The total cost, ile pesa itakuwa costed kwa total mpaka nyumba iishe. That's the work of the QS, quantity survey. And secondly, we have a structural engineer mwenye yeye atafanya calculation za chuma, mali chuma, slab itataka chuma kiasi gani. That's why we are giving them these blueprints. Ndo wa previsit that architectural plan. After we previsit, they come up with something called structural drawing. Most people, kwa hiyo structural drawing si wengi uelewa, but inakuwaga mostly like lines, but si lines inakuwaga hapo. Those are some details of steel work, like inafanywa na structural engineer. So yeye atafanya quotation ya chuma na steel, atafanya the type, or atapiga calculations ya kujua chuma gani itatumika kwa column, chuma gani itatumika kwa slab, kwa beam, spacing of the slab and beams. Yeye ndio atafanya hizo calculation, the strength, unaona. So that's the work of structural engineer. So client kazi yake itakuwa kutoa pesa. So ndio kazi ya client, na kuprevisit tu site yake, kuona vile inaendelea na follow up those all duties. So I have a sample of some calculation of a structural work. So like these are sketching, as you can see here. I've done some sketch. I was just quoting something of structural details. As you can see here. There's this 40 H1201 150B B2 and T1. Hey, some people they'll be shocked. Hey, what this? I'm just hearing 40 H12. In this next section, I just describe on how we came up with this structural details. As you can see, I will just see lines, and calculation. So next tutorial, I'll do this, and it will be helpful for you. So these are sample of a sketch of a structural drawing. I had another here. These are sample of structural drawing for plan ya stairs. Ukiangalia hapa kuna staircase section. There's this steelwork. These are sample of just structural drawing. I had a lot. I don't think if I have another. That's all. So I came up with those plan. Those are the things that you need in plan. So first thing you should have before visiting the site, you should have architectural plan, a 3D of the house, so that we can come up with the real copy of the house. And secondly, you should have the structural plan, and you should have to know the cost of the building at the end. It will cost how much. That's the duty of QS, or quantity survey. So that all is the process of achieving, the step of achieving good design. But after that, you are achieving a good design. What should you do with it? First, visit the ground. Now tunataka tuweke hiyo plan kwa ground, and this process first tukisha visit na pre-visit tena the ground. Pre-visit the ground tena, tuna first thing tunafanyaga ni clear the bushes according to the measurements of the architectural plan. After to clear the bushes, tunaanza sana maybe leveling. Kama ground iko steeping, we can level it. Naona there's different type of getting to the site, getting a architectural plan to the site. After hapo tunaanza setting out, taking the levels, the distance from the road. Kama kuna barabara road to the site, that distance. So tunatake hizo measurement, alafu tunaanza setting out. Firstly, after tumeclear bushes, tukatoa topsoil, kama tumeshajua type of soil ni gani, tunaanza setting out. So tukianza setting out, we always use kitu kama mbao, naona ama tunaweza tumia these instruments, survey instrument. Tunaweza tumia bado tunatumiaga kamba, naona tuna set out. Alafu after tumesha set out, tuna mark. Tukisha mark with maybe whitewash for visibility, we start digging the trenches according to the plan. So ile architectural plan tunaiweka exactly to the ground. After hapo ndo tunaanza sasa kitu inaitwa, tunaanza process ya ku dig the trenches. Tukisha dig the trenches, tuna make sure iko leveled huko chini. After hapo tunaanza sasa kitu kama blinding. Unaona, tunaanza blinding, tunafunga chuma za chini according to structural plan. After hapo kama kuna columns, tunafunga columns. Hivi is multi stories, tunafunga column. Ama tunaangalia type of soil, tunafunga column. Kama kuna ring beams, tunafunga zote. After tuna concrete uko chini, After hapo ndo tutakuja tuanze na foundation wall. Kishasimamisha column, tunaanza na foundation wall. Tukitoka hapo tunaweka hard course. Kutoka hard course tunafanya blinding, tunaweka DPM, damping proof membrane. After hapo tunaweka RCC, tunafunga zile chuma zinafungwa kwa slab. Hiyo inasaidia kwanza prevent cracking to the slab. Tuna make sure the slab iko concreted, iko level. Tunaitaga in situ, watu in situ. Tuna make sure iko leveled vizuri. So after hapo ndo tunaanza sasa masonry wall. Tunaanza kuset sasa zile section hazikuwa zinaonekana, zile part hazikuwa zinaonekana kwa section chini. So tunaanza kuset sasa, this is the measurement of the area, bedroom, naona this is the bedroom. Tunaanza kuset, this is the kitchen, naona using masonry wall, tunatumia tape measures, those all. After hapo the structure inaendelea juu. Kama ilikuwa ground floor, tunafika tunasonga juu kama courses kama 10 hivi. Tuna set hizo dirisha, alafu tunafunga lintel au beams. After hapo tunaongeza kama course 2 ama 3, tunaanza roofing work. Hapo ndo tunakutana na structures za rafters, purlins, king post, tie beam, tunazipata at that area. After hapo tutakuja tuanze finishes, setting of doors, na zile frames za door, frames za windows, tunaanza kufanya hizo finishes. And at lastly tuna come up with a good design. If tunafanya finishes all yote, tukafanya landscaping, we can now handle the key to the client. So I hope this video it will be helpful for you. Itakusaidia. Just share it, subscribe, and everything, it will be good. So itakusaidia, na just share it with your friends. If you are a beginner, it will be helpful for you. Usiruke step. Client asikwambia nataka unidesignie house ama a bungalow and you just rush to your home. First, go process to process, and you thank me for that idea. So thank you for watching again, and I'm repeating my name. My name is Elisha Nicodemus, engineer Elisha Nicodemus, or you can call me an architect. I have those all certification of architect and engineer. So thank you for watching this video, and have a nice day.